Splish splash, I was into the pool right about a Saturday night. I don't know, that's just a bunch of nonsense. Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by, and I was just reviewing the 2023 movie by the name of The Boogeyman, and I think this happened in the movie that I reviewed before The Boogeyman, where it's just like this overlapping flow. So then before The Boogeyman, I reviewed Alone, and then Boogeyman came up, and then when I was reviewing Boogeyman, this movie came up, and although it's been, I don't, maybe 2 or 3 weeks since I've seen this, I probably know enough of it to do a relatively decent review of it, so I figured why the hell not review it, stopping on by to review the movie by the name of Night Swim. And I gotta tell you, when I first saw the poster and the trailers for this online, I was like, being a swimming aficionado, not so much a swimming pool, I'd rather swim in rivers and lakes, more or less lakes. You know, I mean, I don't turn down the invitation to swim in a pool, but I'm not big on all the chemicals and chlorine and all this stuff, but I thought the idea of this was actually kind of interesting, like a haunted swimming pool, and Blumhouse just keeps cranking them out, don't they? Holy crap. But this is, in addition to other studios possibly, I would imagine, this is a Blumhouse production of PG-13 horror. I didn't mention that in the Boogeyman review, but most people probably know that. And the one interesting, the Boogeyman from 2000, I just should have mentioned that, 2006 or whatever, was PG-13 as well. The only good Boogeyman is the one that's rated R, baby. Susanna Love. But anyway, Night Swim. You know, even though it was PG-13, this looked kind of intriguing. Cut to, you know, what, 2 or 3 weeks after the theatrical debut, it's available on Peacock. It was longer than that, I would imagine, but it really seems like it's no time at all before movies hit, you know, streaming sites after their theatrical debuts. I was almost like, God, maybe it'd be fun to go see this just for shits and giggles at the theater. I'm sure glad we saved the money. But Night Swim is about, just like with Poltergeist, like the Poltergeist remake, and yeah, the original Poltergeist, they didn't just move in recently. Poltergeist remake, in the beginning of the movie they move in, or they're house hunting or whatever. So the beginning of this is very similar, where you've got a family with, it's an older daughter and a younger son, I'd want to say, and Dad, I guess, from what I understand, I read in a comment or something on some site that, is this Kurt Russell's son? That very well might be the case. Regardless, I did think that the guy, and I've seen him in stuff before, I do think the guy is actually relatively decent, and like just an all-around kind of, you know, guy's guy. He's just kind of had a nice presence, you know, the main dad character. I can't really remember Mom very well, but yeah, you know, the main dad character is like a ex-baseball, you know, Hall of Famer. Well, I don't know if he's an ex-baseball star, and I guess he had possibly some, you know, career-ending injury that ended his career, as career-ending injuries often do. So he's all depressed. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just this ongoing trend with movies now. Like, all the characters are just depressed, and you wonder why all the frickin' kids in the world are depressed. Well, there's so many reasons why all the kids in the world are depressed, but you know, having nothing but depressed characters in your TV and your movies don't help either. But Dad's depressed because he might never play baseball again. They're moving into their house shopping, and once they come across this house with the swimming pool, he's like, you know what? This might be good for my, like, physical rehabilitation or whatever. So they end up buying the house with the swimming pool, and incidentally, my mom once was at a place with a swimming pool, you know, in the ground, and they're just a pain in the ass to maintain. Like, you know, they might be clean for like 5 minutes, and then, you know, everything falls in it. Yeah, it was fun for a few weeks, but then it was just like, hell with this. Let's just hop in a lake. But yeah, so if you think like the ultimate thing is to own a in-ground swimming pool, it's really not. It's kind of a drag, and you might as well just go to the lake. But anyway, yeah, they end up getting the swimming pool, and honestly, well, there's some opening scene at the beginning of the movie that where someone dies or whatever. And what ultimately ends up happening, because I can't remember very much about this movie at all, is, and I don't know how this swimming pool became haunted or whatever, but what ends up happening is basically, you know, you have to make like sacrifices to this swimming pool, and then you'll get like, you know, rewards in life or whatever. And I want to say like the kid that died at the beginning, or someone died at the beginning, and then it catapulted the rest of the family into like success, or, you know, good health and success or whatever. And then later on, the main character goes to visit, you know, the woman or whatever, who's in like this big, you know, mansion, and it's just like, yeah. So basically the movie at the end of the day is about sacrificing, I don't know, at least one of your family members to the swimming pool, and then because I can't remember if people had died. Maybe someone, I can't remember if someone had died, but Dad was getting better because he had some condition. I don't know if they mentioned the condition or not, but he had some debilitating condition which was improving as time went on because of, you know, the pool was given and was helping him. And I can't remember if anyone died before he started to improve. You can only assume so, but I don't remember. Regardless, the dad was improving, and there was this really dumb scene where the son's in baseball, and the dad was going to go help with the baseball game or whatever, and these dad's kind of like, I can't remember if it, yeah, I think he hit a home run, you know. Dad was like showing off, and the son felt all bad because Dad took the spotlight away from him, and it was just kind of a sorry-ass scene where Dad is like, you know, the former baseball star turned debilitated, now recovering, is like stealing the son's spotlight at his frickin' Little League game or whatever the hell is going on. That was a sorry-ass scene, made me laugh. But I can't remember how many people like die or in the pool to make this guy start recovering or whatever. But I think someone's, I think this dad kind of gets possessed or whatever. Just like with so many movies, and I said this in the Boogeyman 2023 review, is that, you know, I think this started really good, you know, relatively good. And I was like, oh wow, this is actually okay. And, you know, inevitably, like somewhere halfway into it or so, give or take, you know, in my opinion, it's got to just go the way of the who knows what and just turn into this eye roll fest of like, give me a freaking break. And that's kind of what this movie does. I'm not saying like it's all a you know, complete waste or whatever, but, you know, and just like I was bitching in the Boogeyman 2023 review, like some of the imagery is just like, I don't know what it is with this fad of being like so much of this horror movie imagery now in the Hollywood movies is like this Asian horror, you know, in whatever feel to it, where it's like the hair in front of the face and just the and just, I don't know, it's just annoying. But I mean, I guess it's a good thing that I don't like a lot of these new movies. I don't like, because then I just save the money of you know, feeling like I want to buy these things. So at the end of the day, I guess it's a good thing because you save money. But it is a little depressing too, because, yeah, I guess if you want to watch a good movie, watch something that was made, you know, decades ago or whatever. But that's the basic premise of this movie. And I think as the movie wears on, Dad, you know, becomes more quote-unquote healthy, and I think at some point he ends up possessed and like almost, I think he almost, you know, in a possessed state, he almost kills this kid. They have a pool party, of course, and almost kills this kid or whatever because he's possessed by the pool to kill people or whatever. So I can't remember if we find out, you know, through, you know, people going through this and that of like the history of the pool or how this ended up being haunted or whatever. But yeah, I guess that pretty much does it. That's probably kind of a half-assed review of Night Swim, but I don't remember too much of it. And honestly, I mean, let's face it, there's not a whole lot to remember anyway. What would my star rating for Night Swim be? Yeah, because it was mostly like give me a break, I can only go as high as 1.75 stars out of 4 stars for Night Swim. There's some things I could say, but it's kind of like I'm getting on in years and I don't feel right saying these things. So it's just regarding like the older daughter in the bikini. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, older daughter in the bikini wasn't horrible and scene or whatever. And like I say, if that is Kurt Russell's son, or even if it isn't, whoever the hell plays the dad is a relatively likable on-screen persona. Like I say, I'm pretty sure I've seen him before, and it's so funny how so many of these movies are just mirrors of each other. Like the Poltergeist remake, I think, did I review that last year? Time flies, I don't know, I think so. But you know, that movie's got the family, the older daughter and the younger son, and it's, you know, this movie's moving in, or this family's moving into the house, and older daughter, younger son. At least the son in this one, it wasn't like frickin', you know, frickin' devil child, like, you know, Mia Farrow, just creepy ass kid like the Poltergeist remake. That was funny. But I guess that'll pretty much do it for my review of Night Swim. Can't say I recommend it. Beth is interested in seeing, and I am too, just for like, it's a kind of a cute teddy bear. She's interested in seeing Imaginary, so hopefully that there's talks that might end up on Peacock. So with any luck, perhaps I can't guarantee it, but perhaps maybe Beth and I can stop on by for an audio review of Imaginary. She thinks the bear's cute, and you know, it'll be kind of interesting. Yet another, I think, Blumhouse production or whatever. But I guess that'll about do it. How many times have I said that in this review? Thanks so much for watching this review. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, we'll catch you on the next video.